This is the Graupner MZ-24 Pro with a sailplane, and I'm going to show how to set up the flaps on two different switches. The reason I want the flaps on two switches is while I'm flying, I like my flaps on the slider. So in flight, if I want to tweak the flaps a bit, put a little down in them, I can. My problem is when I land, I have a hard time finding the slider. I don't use a neck strap or a tray. And my finger is all the way up here, and trying to bend down to get the switch is difficult when I'm landing. So at the last second when I land, I have an override switch on switch 8. It won't matter where the flaps are. You hit this switch back, it throws the flaps up, so you won't strip a gear when you're landing your flaps in tall grass. I want to thank Mark on RC Groups for giving me the final tip on how to get this to work, and I'm going to show everyone what you have to do. First thing you want to do is go into the control menu and the base menu, and set up your channel for your flap. So we hit the next button. In my case it's channel 6, and I have it set up for slider 2. That's all you have to do here. Then you would go into your endpoint adjustments and set up your flap endpoints. We don't need to look at those settings, but that's going to vary based on your sailplane. Get your EPAs right and your reversing correct. Then you go over to the function menu, go into phase, create a new phase. I called it flaps up. I gave it just a small delay, 0.2 seconds, and you assign it to switch 8. I'm going to reassign it here. I'm going to move the switch so you can see. So you make the back side of the switch on, and the other two positions you set it to off. From the phase menu, now we're going to go to the camber menu, hit next. We're now playing with the ailerons, and then here with the switch in the off position, in other words it's not back, it's in the middle, you would set up your rates at 100%. That should drop your flaps however far you want to take them down. And it should be on switch 8. Now you can also in here adjust your elevator mix, so you can mix some down elevator so that you don't get that porpoising effect when you drop the flaps. Once you have your camber set up, here's the trick that Mark figured out. You go into the flap mix menu, make sure your override switch is on. Up here it should say flaps up. Under the set menu, hit this double greater than sign symbol, and now you get some new menu items down here. You have an offset. This is the magic trick so that this works correctly. You set these guys to 100% on the flaps up phase switch. By putting these at 100, when the switch is back, I'm going to pan out. I'm moving the slider, and the flaps stay stationary. It's exactly what I want. If I put the switch back, they go back to wherever the slider is. So while you're landing, I can just throw that switch back, and boof, they go up real easy. So this is exactly what I was looking for, and again I want to thank Mark for helping me out with this.